Hello and welcome. Welcome y'all to the Richmond Wellness Studio. I'm Aubrey Eicher. This is the amazing Lisa Hazelgrove with Lisa Healthy. And we hope that you are having an amazing day.
Yes, it's beautiful. Gorgeous.
Yes. Happy spring officially.
Spring is back.
Right? It's coming, it's going, it's coming, it's going.
It doesn't know what it wants to do.
But we're here anyway, so
yes.
Here we are. We have to succumb to Mother Nature. So today we're talking about how to stop fear from holding you back. In what areas of your life has fear held you back? In anything, in let's say something new that you want to do, or anything out of the ordinary, just out of your comfort zone. This is one of the things that I'm talking with my clients all the time, is stepping out of your comfort zone and just growing and doing things that maybe aren't just in the norm for you. And so that's what we want to talk about today, is how can we release the fears that stop us from restoring, specifically from restoring our body's natural energy.
Yes, definitely.
I liked that the conversation that we were having around this, that we were beginning to develop.
Yes, energy. Where is it? Where did it go? And how do I get it back?
Mm-hmm. If you're not really feeling like doing something, or not feeling motivated, or just honestly, quite honestly feeling fatigued, which you have experienced.
I have experienced, especially with my health challenges this past year, and having the hyperthyroid and Graves' disease, an autoimmune disorder. Yes, we went to the...
That's new news. I didn't know that part. I didn't know the Graves part.
Yes, I have Graves' disease. It's an autoimmune issue. And that is what was feeding or telling the thyroid, keep making more. And it was making so much that it threw my heart into almost AFib. And it was irregular, and it was beating really fast, and which landed me in the emergency room. And I thought, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But trying to walk around the zoo this past weekend in Washington, D.C., I had so much fun with my grandchildren and my daughter and my husband's sister and her family.
Yeah.
But it's hard for them to understand what it is for someone with an autoimmune disorder to walk around the zoo for 3 or more hours.
Right.
And it's very debilitating, very hard. The energy basically was gone at that point. But I always make sure that I bring food with me to refuel. I tell my students at U of R, if you're pulling an all-nighter, make sure that you're eating and you're filling up that energy reserve that's gone.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing, drinking plenty of water. But it still was very challenging.
Yeah, yeah. So I would pose the question, what is it that holds us back from making the changes that we wish to see in our lives? What do you think?
I think a lot of it is fear-based, and we've talked about this, or we don't realize that it's not fear, but it's something very similar to that, and that's anxiety.
That's huge.
It's really huge when you understand that that's the origin, origination of where it is really coming from. Is it an anxiety? For me, as a child, always very anxious. There was this undercurrent, like water has that undercurrent in it. I always felt
just kind of feeling like this.
Yeah,
all the time.
It's always what is that, and where is that coming from, and not understanding at the time when I was younger that not everybody was. I thought everybody had that anxiety problem.
Yeah.
And they didn't, and I realized as I got older that it was something that was in me. And that's why I kind of started with magnets. And I never forget the time I put this on, and I was walking by my daughter's room, and normally would set me into a tailspin because it was just messy. And I would continually ask her to clean it up. And I had put the magnet on, and I walked by her room, and I looked into her room. I leaned in, closed the door, and kept walking.
And kept going.
I went, oh my gosh.
So, no, what is this? Because not everybody knows what the magnets are.
So this is actually a magnetic bracelet. It has the energy like what we get from the earth. Earth is a big magnet. And when we're outside, I know you feel this, I feel energized.
Right. How many of us, when we go out in nature, do we feel just amazing?
Amazing.
Particularly if we've got, take off the sandals, and put your feet on the ground.
And you're grounding.
What does that feel like? That's
So this is
kind of-
replicating. Yes.
Okay.
Because it is magnetic energy, far infrared like the sun's energy, and your negative ions, which is the air, the particles in the air that are what we call mood lifters. You go to the beach and you're like, wow, I feel good here.
Oh.
Well, there's a very good reason. Yes, number one, you're away from home. But really, it's because you've got those three amazing natural energies that are recharging our vibrational or energy field.
So what, the magnetic field, the air, and the
sun's energy.
And the sun's energy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's exciting.
It is
I'm going to
exciting.
the beach next week, and
Yay!
I'm going to be laying out.
I'm so
and
jealous.
Enjoying it.
I will hop in your
Soaking
suitcase.
up all of it.
Yes.
Yeah, please. You are.
If I could fit, right?
Yeah. That might not be comfortable.
I don't think so. But
Yeah.
so it's amazing how we feel. And anybody I would recommend that's feeling that bad, if you could just get outside, you don't even have to walk very far. If you're like me, you have that challenge of an autoimmune issue. Just walking down to the end of the street and coming back. If you can take your socks and shoes off and walk in the grass, you will be amazed how that natural energy, which is what our body is looking for that reference to the earth, earthlings. And you look at these young children today that stay inside all day long and they're playing video games or they're watching TV or they're on a computer, on their phones or their iPads or
Often.
and they're not getting outside, and then they do, and they're like, why do I feel so much better? It literally is recharging your energy system, the whole system.
I was talking with one of my clients earlier today, actually, and we were both we were agreeing on the fact that we were both tomboys when we grew up, and always just like out in
Outside.
the woods and outside and in nature,
Climbing trees and
going in places that we weren't supposed to go, all that kind of stuff. Like, I was an explorer. I always wanted to go.
I loved exploring.
Way past the boundary line.
Yes.
I blurred those all the time. but yeah, it was fun. Always fun. Always good fun.
Yeah.
And it always felt amazing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And anytime now that I get out, in nature, that's one of the reasons that I love running. I mean, I don't get that, foot to grass contact, but I still get the air and the sunshine and everything else.
You're still getting some of that energy. Unfortunately, as we progressed in this, fast-paced world, we now wear rubber-soled shoes, whereas we used to wear the leather. So we're not getting that connection anymore to the ground like we used to. Our ancestors had log cabins that had dirt floors, and they were still getting that wonderful energy. Yeah. But as long as you are outside, you're right. You're still going to get
2 of 3.
2 of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I wear the magnets all the time, because it is helping to recharge me constantly. I'm plugging in, I guess, naturally.
Yeah. That's cool.
And plus, the light getting in through the eyes is the only way to fill up the pineal gland. Sunlight is the only way that fills up this. It's actually called our third eye.
The third eye. Yeah.
And it secretes, the pineal gland secretes the melatonin at night. But you feel tired, you're wondering why, and people start taking melatonin. Nothing wrong with that, but if you can get it naturally outside. And I say always face the sun in the afternoon, and without sunglasses, so that you can fill that up, so that you've recharged that.
Yeah.
And you'll have the melatonin that's supposed to secrete and help you sleep better.
That's awesome. That's part of the reason I realized, like, quite recently, I was training for the Pittsburgh Marathon, which is in 3 weeks now. Less than 3 weeks. Yeah. So I just had my hardest week of training. Like, I'm in taper mode. I get to recover now, and I'm so thankful, and my body is thankful. And I had to switch my training whenever I had committed to this race, because I was running literally, because my day starts very early. Like, I'll have clients sometimes that start at like 5:30 or 6:30 in the morning. Well, I would run at like 4:30 in the morning, or 5.
Yeah.
And it's in the winter, it's dark.
Yeah.
In the summer, it's dark too, but it's a little bit different in the summer. In the winter, it's dark, and I had to figure out a way. I started running in the middle of the day, and I was amazed at how different that it felt and how much better that it felt.
Yeah.
Even though it maybe wasn't as convenient for my schedule. Emotionally, it was a better decision.
It is.
To get the sunlight, to get warmer air.
Yeah, we don't realize how much of that natural energy our body is really thirsty for. And I always say, is your body thirsty? Well, water is one thing, food is another, that natural energy is also another. We've got the phones, the computers, and all this man-made energy that our body is trying to match. It will never match.
Speed up to it, right?
It's speed up to it. It will never match that energy. Some of it is gigahertz, in the billions of cycles per second. And we're on a hertz level.
That sounds like we would be really, really tired.
That's sometimes why we're extremely tired, because the body doesn't know, that's not natural. It's trying to match that.
Right.
Yeah. The body's not aware that that's not really the good energy.
Right. It's just like, oh, well, this is the environment. This is what I'm doing.
This is
so
it, yeah.
How does this translate to holding us back, like in terms of fear and that kind of a thing?
So with the emotion code that I utilize as well with my clients, finding that fear or maybe anxiety that we've trapped in our bodies and releasing it, I'm noticing, especially with my thyroid, that was one of the protocols that I used, was that I was releasing emotions from this, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 times, 20 times a day.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, think about it again. I'm twice your age, so I have a lot of trapped emotions. I started doing this back in 2013. And I'm working with a client that she's a little bit older than I am, about 65, and she had a very bad upbringing. Okay. And we're still finding trapped emotions. She trapped in the womb.
Wow. Yeah.
So finding the fear, or maybe it is, again, anxiety and fear look a lot alike.
Right.
But finding, like today I was working with someone by proxy. In other words, she is in New Orleans and I'm here.
Okay.
But I had her permission to go ahead and start releasing. I found what we call a heart wall, which we built a wall around this. And we've closed the door. And like a Pandora's box, and we've put all these emotions that we suppress because we can't handle. And then all of a sudden, it hits us and we're like, why am I feeling all of a sudden this urge to purge?
Yeah.
It's built up so much that it's ready. Our subconscious mind is ready to say, please go. Let's release that.
So if we're one of those people that like has that tendency to hold on to emotions and not express them, express them at all, I want to say, or express them in a healthy way, and we kind of stuff them.
Yeah, we put them in a box.
This is what,
Yeah, and all of a sudden now, people are like, well, when do you know when to release? And I said, because it feels like the jar is full, or the box is full.
Right.
And it's spilling over into other areas of my life.
Right, and you're starting to realize, like, this isn't good, this is affecting other things.
So why don't I feel like going for a walk today? I love to walk. What's going on in my life, maybe in another area, that's affecting that? I don't feel like eating healthy today. Why not? You always feel like eating healthy.
Right.
Yeah, so targeting and finding and plucking them out.
Yeah.
And releasing them and letting them go to the universe. We find that things become a lot easier and are not as challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Let's say if there's someone watching, they have not heard of the emotion code or this concept of trapped emotions.
Right.
Can you explain that to them?
Sure. So a trapped emotion is, there's an event. Maybe it's something that happened in my life. Maybe it was an argument with someone in my family. Or maybe it was, I have to go from example. I was teased as a child. I had buck teeth, very skinny. And I know, and it was.
I got picked on
You
bad
did?
too. Oh yeah.
And it's
I had to learn to deal with that one early.
It kept trying to come up with, wonder helps build strong bodies 12 different ways. If you grew up in the 60s, you may not get that reference, but and they kept trying to, say, well, you could do this and do that, but so those emotions that I thought I had gotten over, basically, and were gone. Something else will happen, and all of a sudden I feel that resurfacing and coming back up, and I'm going, wait a minute, deja vu.
Why?
I know what this is about. I remember where this person was just, really chastising, teasing me.
Yeah.
Why is that coming up 30 years later?
Right. Right.
Because right now something else has happened that has triggered that memory
same pattern, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And if it laid down tracks, and it's actually in my molecular structure now, or in my cells, you know, it really is resurfacing and coming back up, bubbling back up to the surface.
Yeah.
And I'm experiencing the past. I'm reliving it over and over and over again. And you talk about how some people are stuck in the past, and they're talking about something that happened. You go, well, that was 30 years ago. Why are you still?
Why are we still talking about it?
Why are you still? Aren't you over that yet?
Well,
No, because I let go of it spiritually, and I do pray.
yeah.
But I didn't let go of it physically, and use a chart, which is what
That's
I use,
huge.
and find that certain emotion. And I've had it correlate to specific events. Like we had a dog, and it was something that happened before the age of 5 to me. And I thought, what was it? I didn't really need to know. All I knew that the timeline was before age 5.
Okay.
And it was sadness. And the dog snipped at me, and we had to get rid of the dog.
Yeah.
And just recently, I found out my brother actually had harbored some emotions around that because he loved the dog, and he blamed me, resentment,
Yeah.
for.
That's way back, yeah. But
But I found
it's valid and it's still there.
and it's still there.
Yeah.
And the neat thing was
so what
that
the emotion code can do, it can you're walking
identify.
someone through identifying and releasing those ties.
those ties to life events or
Okay.
certain people in our past, or maybe it was just maybe a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
But identifying that and releasing it, letting it go and get out of the body,
Yeah.
and it's freeing. It's amazing how you feel like doing things you haven't felt like doing in a long time.
Yeah.
Like maybe exercising, maybe
Right.
finding a better nutritional type plan, sleeping better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Making that
Any of those
commitment.
things.
Why can't I make a commitment? I've heard this so many times from my clients, to go to bed at 10 o'clock.
That's a big one.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Why can't I turn off the phone? Why can't I turn off the
Why
TV?
can't I just do it? I know what to do. Why can't I do it?
Why can't I do
I
this?
can't tell you how many times I hear that too.
So
I get
what
that.
is holding me
What's holding me
captive?
And
by the
captive.
way,
Yeah.
is a great analogy.
Yeah.
In keeping me from being my best me,
Yeah. And the you that you want to be.
and the you that I want to
that
be.
you want to show up as.
And I
Yeah.
forget, it was a novelist, Faulkner. I can't think of his first name, but he said, until we, what did he say, release the traumas or drama of our childhood, we will never heal as an adult and be the person that we want to be.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. That so we've gone into the realm of, what is it that we can do about this? If we have fear in our areas of life that are holding us back, and we're like, yeah, we want to exercise, but something's holding us back. Yeah, we want to eat healthy, and maybe we did in the past, or maybe we didn't. Maybe we just know that we want to take better care of ourselves. But something's holding us back. Something's holding us captive.
Yes.
How can we do that? And in talking with Lisa and doing your emotion code, like going through that, because you're a practitioner to be able to be able to walk them through that, right?
Yes.
To release emotions is huge. And then I would say too, what I've experienced through my journey is I just started questioning all of the stories that I was telling myself. And saying like, yeah, I've always been such and such, and I started just looking at it and saying, is that true? Is that really true? And maybe it is, maybe it was, but maybe that's not the story that I wanted to continue to tell. Maybe I just wanted to write a new story,
I
like
love that.
every day, like that analogy.
I write a new story.
We can write a new chapter every
Yeah.
day. The page has turned. It's a fresh day. You can start fresh. You can be whoever that you want to be. And realizing that I was empowered to have the ability to create the life that I wanted was phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was really powerful for
Yes.
me. Like to realize, oh yeah, I can create a life that I want, and it's not a selfish thing or a bad thing
No.
or anything like that. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna do things that explicitly harm other people.
No.
But
it is an emotional belief system
yeah,
that we have.
yeah,
Do you know the story?
That's huge.
It is huge. Do you know the story about the roast, and you cut the ends off the roast,
No.
No.
Do y'all know this?
It's this young bride. She's trying to impress her husband. And she's cooking her grandmother's pot roast.
Okay.
And she cut the ends off the roast and put it in the pan and cooked it. And he said, well, it's delicious, but I'm just curious as to why you cut the ends off. They're the best part. And she said, I don't know. My mother's always done this. My grandmother, it's her recipe. So when they were over at Grandma's house and she was fixing the roast and she cut the ends off, she says, Grandma, why do you cut the ends off the roast before you cook it? She goes, because it's the only way it'll fit in my roasting pan.
Right. Oh, it's just the way that it's always been done.
Exactly. So
we don't think about it.
We basically told ourselves this is the way it is, or this is the way it has been. There's that word, can't change it.
Right.
Because why not? You know, our mind is always thinking in the finite.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm going to start doing is talking about meditation in my workshops as well.
Good.
And
Good.
how that we have to get out of the mind.
Yeah.
Because that limits us.
Yeah.
And it was during
Absolutely.
meditation that God showed me. I use a Trinity. I have something that represents my body, my mind, and my spiritual side.
Mm-hmm.
And it was almost like He said, "Well, take that out of the equation. Take the mind out. What does that mean to you? What does that tell you?" And I went, "My mind's getting in the way." Exactly.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Now you have a workshop coming up, right? Well, we have a couple of things.
We do have a couple of things, but
we have an open house, but then you're doing a workshop coming up, right?
yeah, on the 29th, Sunday, April 29th,
Okay.
at Resonance Float and Sound, I'm going to
Okay.
be doing a vibration and frequency workshop,
Okay.
talking about energy
Awesome.
and natural energy. We're going to hear from visionaries. Of course, they're going to be on the computer, but some amazing visionaries talking about vibration and frequency. And
Cool.
one of them is Bob Proctor, and
Yeah, I've heard of him.
yes, and
I've listened to a
another
few
one
of his
is Dr.
meditations.
Bradley Nelson, who wrote the Emotion Code.
Yes.
We'll be hearing it through a video from him about vibration.
Cool. Awesome. That's great. That's great. Now, how do they find out about that?
Well, they can go on my website. It's lisahealthy.com, and
Okay.
all of my events are listed on the calendar there.
Awesome.
They can go to my Facebook page, which is Lisa H. Healthy. Can you believe there was another Lisa Healthy on Facebook? I was stunned.
That's something else.
So I had to add an extra H in there for the Hazelgrove part.
Right.
They can email me, lisa@lisahealthy.com, or they can
Okay.
call me 804-539-3251.
Cool. And I want to encourage you guys, interact with us here, wherever you are seeing this. You might be seeing it on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, whatever. Communicate with us. We love to connect with you and hear your feedback, hear your thoughts, hear your questions. Have you heard of this concept before called the emotion code and having trapped emotions in your body? And have you played around with also the flip side of that, which I was introducing, just questioning the stories that that you're used to living by and operating on in your life on a regular basis? And how can we release these fears that are holding us back from the things that we really want to do in our lives, the way that we really want to show up on a day-to-day basis, right? How can we release these things, okay? Between the two of us, we can work with you to do that. We've got lots of resources as well, so reach out to us in whatever way that you would like to. Email, phone call, send a carrier pigeon. I don't care.
And we'll help you rewrite your story.
Absolutely. It's so fun.
It is fun.
Mm-hmm.
It is fun to break through those, like you said, those beliefs that we have.
Yeah.
And rewrite our story.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, we'll sign off for now. It was great talking with you today, and we look forward to chatting again soon, okay? Bye.
Bye-bye.